two random guys from Australia. Driving just the solar car, which is my first encounter with 100% solar car.
Está bien.
Do you like these guys?
Well, Ruta del Sol, I think they're a bit crazy, which is normal, the standard for travelers. Talking to them, it's like they really need to keep track of their battery usage and sun and the weather. It's pretty neat. It's hard to have something 100% solar. Yeah, he's cool.
Thanks, man. That's
Hey,
so
you rad.
good.
En el vídeo anterior conocimos a Joel y Keegan y hablamos un poco sobre cómo comenzó su proyecto de Ruta del Sol, en el que construyeron una furgo 100% solar, con la que van a viajar desde Alaska hasta Argentina. Y obviamente, en cuanto conocí a estos chicos, me surgieron un montón de dudas sobre cuántos kilómetros se puede avanzar con esta furgo, cuánto tiempo tarda en cargarse, qué pasa si está nublado, cómo es la furgo por dentro. Así que, por supuesto, en este capítulo vamos a responder a todas esas preguntas. Pero antes os recuerdo que podéis suscribiros al canal si aún no estáis suscritos. Solo le tenéis que dar aquí al botón de abajo, a la derecha, ese rojo que dice suscribirse y listo. Y si además justo después le dais a la campanita, YouTube os avisará de todas las notificaciones, como por ejemplo cuando voy a hacer un directo. Ya sabéis que a veces no siempre publico el fin de semana, a veces publico entre semana. En fin, para no perderos nada, suscribiros y darle a esa campanita. Y ahora sí, vamos a conocer la furgo de Ruta del Sol.
Hi everybody, this is my solar electric camper van. It's based off of a 2010 Navistar International, Navistar E-Star International. It is completely electric and I've turned it into my home, and I also charge it off of solar power, which I've designed to be an off-grid charging system on the roof of the van. So if you want to follow me inside, I'm going to show you what it looks like to live inside of one of these vehicles. Every spaceship needs a cockpit, so if you want to follow me through, and I'll explain to you what happens up the front here. So immediately as you walk in, you'll notice that there's a huge panoramic windshield that lets you take some really good photos and videos while you're driving. Up higher we have all of our storage overhead bulkhead system, blankets, towels, the captain's hat, which is very important to wear when you are ready to drive. This is where we drive the vehicle. You need to put your foot on the brake to start it. When you start it, it's all good to go, and then it drives just like any other automatic vehicle, in that you put your foot on the accelerator and you go, and you put on your foot on the brake to stop. The display is a large 7-inch display. Basically it shows you your battery status indicator and your speed. And there's 1, 2, 3 of them like this, and we have also a reverse camera here where we can see the backing up of the camera. Our full-sized kitchen, it's got a large area for cooking and cutting and cleaning on. Big range hood up here with a 3-speed fan to send exhaust outside while you're cooking. And if you want a drink of water, you grab a cup, a mug, and away you go, and it's fresh drinking water in any part of the world. So we have an electric hot water system. Basically it's hot straight off of the tap. It's very luxurious in a van to have running hot water. And we have a full-size 90-litre fridge, and this is one of my favorite things in the van because it fits all of the beer in it and some vegetables. You have to stay green sometimes. So basically plenty of room. It's got a little LED light here that turns on. The wheels roll away like this, and then I have a little hook here that comes over and holds the fridge in place when we're traveling, and it doesn't go anywhere. And then plenty of storage up here. We have a slide out storage system, so you can have a fly screen if you feel like having a fly screen to let all the air run and flow through. Here we have our storage cabinets where we keep all of our food. I have a popcorn addiction, and there's 3 units. Don't look too much into there because it's all just crap that I shouldn't have because I live in a van, and the same with this side. It's all just crap that I have because I live in a van. a big double open queen size bed so you can stretch out at night time when you're not sleeping with your co-pilot Keegan in the bed. And then up the back here, the last thing you'll notice is an individual book rack. Don't judge me, I like to read books about philosophy and spirituality. I want to show you how my bed converts into a table and show you the working space that I work with when I'm on my laptop every day. It's kind of annoying to convert it, so most days I end up sitting there with a laptop on my lap, but I also enjoy having both a bed and a table, and I can configure the bed and table in that way as well, and I'm going to show you how that's done. So although it takes a lot of effort to set up, the idea is to have all of this set up and whoever's sleeping in the van can actually sleep on the roof of the van. Also, just to have this open as an entertainment space for whoever we meet on the road, and also just have your own space to work. Have a table that sort of keeps you working. This is the brain of the vehicle. It's the magic area. Usually it's screaming because it's making so much electricity that we don't know what to do with it. But today we're fully charged, as you can see by our battery monitoring system, and we're only pulling in 200 watts on the charge controller here. So we have two charge controllers because we have two off-grid charging systems, and it just helps to divide and even out the power and bring them into the batteries at a little bit more of a safer level. So moving on to below this, we have our 8 kilowatt inverter. This inverts all of our DC energy to AC energy. Up here we have the battery monitoring system. This is our charge hub. Basically I can control energy coming in through the charge controllers to my inverter. Energy comes from the inverter through there to our AC panel. This is our AC combiner box, and basically we have all of our labeled systems here. We have a 40 amp kitchen, a 40 amp juice box, which is our electric vehicle charger, and we have all of our bed outlets and front cabinet 110 volt electrical outlets and all that sort of stuff. You caught me in the act. So Bea wanted me to explain to everyone how a composting toilet works, and she's caught me at the perfect time to explain it because I'm on the toilet. But no, this is our composting toilet. Basically, it's like any other toilet. If you want to jump in and have a look, Bea. It's like any other toilet, except inside of there, when we do our business, we add we basically have like a bucket, and you layer the bucket with some wood chips, which is this, or sawdust, and then you do your business and then you cover it up with more sawdust, and then when you find a place to dispose of it, you can be like out in the back country, you dig a big hole and dispose of all your waste. Or you can dispose of it at like a waste disposal place, a black water place. But yeah, usually we try to keep it as compostable as possible, so we dig a hole and put all our waste in there and then we let it go. That's how a composting toilet works.
Ya hemos visto el VANTOUR por dentro de esta furgo, pero aún me quedan unas cuantas dudas. Con las baterías completamente cargadas, ¿cuántos kilómetros pueden avanzar?
I can drive up to 300 kilometers using both battery packs that I have in the van.
¿A qué velocidad máxima puede ir esta furgoneta?
The motor is restricted to drive at 80 kilometers an hour. So actually mine and Bea's van drive nearly the same speed.
¿Se mantiene la velocidad cuesta arriba?
I think we have a little bit more torque than you going uphill. I think we're able to go a little bit faster, but what happens is if we start driving really fast up hills, our van batteries die much quicker because you're using a whole lot more energy to go uphill. But if we want to and plant the foot, we can drive at 80 kilometers an hour uphill, but we generally don't. We generally try to keep it down to 50 kilometers an hour just to save that energy.
¿Cuánto tiempo tarda la furgoneta en cargarse?
See, it all depends on how much sun you have. As you could imagine, more sun means it charges quicker to a limit. But generally speaking, we can charge the van in 3 days and usually not longer than 3 days. Usually when you're in a nice place, you stay longer than what it takes for the van to charge. So the quickest we've ever charged the van from 0 to complete is 2.5 days. And I guess the longest was up in Alaska, no, in northern British Columbia, where it took us about a week to charge half a battery to get us out of trouble.
Además de cargar con sus paneles solares, ¿cargan la furgoneta en campings, estaciones de carga, etcétera?
We have a rule that we're only allowed to use renewable energy sources to charge the vehicle. There have been a few cases where we've had to charge off of a non-renewable source to get out of trouble, but in most cases, pretty much 99% of the time we've used renewable energy to charge. There's one particular time where I can remember that we visited a hydroelectric dam facility in Tacoma, USA, near Seattle, and they let us charge off of their facility directly. So the energy was coming straight from the hydroelectric generator and into our van.
¿Alguna vez se han quedado sin batería?
Was when I was in northern British Columbia with Keegan. There's an episode on YouTube about us getting stuck in a place in the snow for 2 weeks. It was October and an early snowstorm came in. We were very far north and we got coated in snow a couple of days in a row, and our batteries went flat, and it took us a whole week to charge enough energy to get, 70 kilometers. It wasn't very far, and we had to take a whole week to charge that distance. So it was really funny. We got stuck, we ran out of food, so we had to hitchhike into the closest town to get food and supplies, and we ran out of movies to watch, and we edited all of our videos because we just had nothing to do. So yeah, there's been a few times where we've run out of energy, but I think that's all part of it when you're living this sort of adventurous lifestyle.
¿Tienen calefacción en la furgoneta?
No, we don't have a heating system. The byproduct of inverting energy from our secondary battery pack and putting that into our primary battery pack, that's called an inverter, and that inverter produces heat. So whenever we're transferring energy, we have a heating system in the van. But when we're not, which is, when it snows and you get stuck in a snowstorm, which is kind of like the most convenient time to have heating, we don't have heat. So we're kind of trying to sparingly use energy as we went during that time so that we could have like a few hours of heat at night and sort of get warm before going to sleep. But no, there's no heating inside of the van.
¿Qué aparatos llevan en la furgoneta?
An electric stove, a electric wok, a electric water heater, a electric kettle. I think that's it. We don't really have anything else. We don't really need anything else. Everything inside the van runs off electricity.
¿Tienen suficiente electricidad para usar todos los aparatos o tienen que ir con cuidado?
The nature of this vehicle is that the battery storage capabilities of this vehicle are so large that any amount of energy that we use to, say, run a refrigerator or cook food or do any of that sort of stuff is so minimal in comparison to the actual energy we use to drive the vehicle. Just to put it in perspective for you, the amount of energy we use a day in any situation on average is about 3 to 4 kilowatt hours of energy. And to drive 160 kilometers, we use 75 kilowatt hours of energy. So it's such a small figure. It's maybe 5% of energy that we use to run our lives. So even when it was snowing, we were pulling enough energy in from the sun to refrigerate our food, heat up water, cook pasta, have lights, charge our cameras, our computers, all that sort of stuff. So it's a life support vehicle when you can't move, basically.
¿Qué es lo más difícil de viajar en una furgoneta solar?
I actually think that the most difficult thing about traveling in a solar van probably isn't anything different to the most difficult thing about traveling in a normal van. And I just think that for me is the irregularity of your lifestyle, not knowing where you're going to get your groceries from, or driving to new places all the time and having to make new friends and all that. So not that I struggle with that, And not that I think that that's too difficult. If you want to distinctly know the difference in what's most difficult about living in a solar van, it would definitely be that we don't have access to readily available energy all the time, like you do in a gas-powered vehicle. It takes a normal van life of 15 minutes at most to fill up their vehicle with energy, and it takes me 2.5 days.
Teniendo en cuenta todos los problemas y esfuerzo que este tipo de furgoneta y viaje conllevan, ¿merece la pena?
I think that if you are willing to accept that you have to live somewhat of a different lifestyle, that you have to slow down and slow your pace down and just learn to enjoy moving at the speed that nature will allow you to, and learning to change the way that your mind works. I think if you're willing to accept that, then this lifestyle is totally worth it. It's very rewarding, but I will have to preface that with that if you're not willing to give up those conveniences, those entitlements, that entitlement that we all have to energy, if you're not willing to do that, then this lifestyle isn't for you. But if you are, I think you'll enjoy it a lot. I think you'll really, really get a lot out of it.
Muchas gracias, Joel, por esta entrevista. Y no os perdáis los próximos capítulos donde estos chicos y yo compartimos una gran parte del viaje hasta que mejor lo veis en los próximos vídeos. Chao.
Favorite Spanish words so far.
Best words, no manches, ¿qué onda? Y entonces.
Favorite words? ¡Qué rico! I think that's so cute. ¡Qué cabrón! ¡Qué onda! I like that. Everything with "que" in front of it. It just sounds sick.